Hi, and welcome to Teletalk. I'm Liv.
And I'm Ben.
And on this episode, you'll hear our carefully considered and not at all random thoughts on a show we like. There will be spoilers.
We're giving ourselves an age rating of 15 and above, but you're welcome to make up your own mind. Listener discretion is advised.
And if you're enjoying what you hear, please do rate, review and subscribe. And thank you so much to those of you who have already done that.
You can contact us on our socials. We're at TeletalkPod on Blue Sky and on Facebook. And you can email us at teletalkpod@outlook.com.
So this episode, we are armchair experting Married at First Sight Australia, Season 12, Episode 20. It's Dinner Party number 4.
Oh my goodness, the 4th one.
Yes, and I do want to begin this with a statement. So, there were some very serious topics that were addressed during this episode, specifically around Paul's behaviour. Whilst we acknowledge that talking about such issues is important within society, we want to keep the focus of our podcast on providing entertainment. We appreciate the MAFS group members and the experts taking this matter so seriously, and we hope that Paul receives appropriate support to help him move forward in a healthy way. So for this episode, we won't address Paul and Karina any further beyond this statement.
So, that being the case, who are we going to start with?
Well, let's go to a happy couple, shall we? Jamie and Dave.
Yeah, they've adopted Billy's fish.
I know, Jamie referred to herself as a fish mum.
Is that the rules? Like, if someone's eliminated from the show, they have to give their pet to someone.
I don't think people really have pets.
Yeah, he's brought a fish, but they're not loved it enough to keep hold of it.
Oh, poor fishy.
Or maybe it was like, oh, I can't take it back, and he's like passed it. It's just weird. It's so many questions.
Although, to be fair, I can't remember where Billy was from, so I don't think you can take a fish on a plane.
Unless he was from the sea. Which seems unlikely.
Anyway, watching this episode, I was wondering if you're happy now. Because we heard directly from Dave about how they're getting on, and he said that he has a warm, fuzzy feeling.
I still maintain it didn't quite reach his eyes.
What?
Yeah.
What do you want from him?
I want him to say it with his eyes. I don't know. I can't help that there's something in me that just goes, I'm not sure that's entirely true. What?
You're ridiculous.
No. I'll either be proven right, or I'll be proven wrong.
Oh my god. I just can't even with you.
Well, I think the important thing to focus on is that Jamie's mum is as direct as she is by the seam of it, because she, at their gathering, directly asked them how their sex life was.
Oh, yeah.
Much to the embarrassment of Jamie's dad by the seam of it.
Yeah, Jamie's retelling this story at the table, isn't she?
And I appreciated it because it really reminded me of last season with Lucinda's dad. Just go, come on, Tim, just give her a quickie. Just do it, one night stand. And then when he's questioned on it by the producer, he's like, well, he should. Anything that reminds me of that is bang on. But yeah, they remain Jamie and Dave. Yeah. Good old Jave.
I enjoy seeing them, and they are so comfortable with each other that they happily weigh in on other couples and sort of support them too.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yes, you do.
Stop it.
I can't.
You're being mean.
I'm not being mean.
I think you're being mean.
I'm speaking my truth.
Right. Well, you can come and speak your truth about Rhee and Jeff then.
Oh, poor old Rhee and Jeff. They come in initially absolutely blissfully unaware that they have got a further Jackieing on the cards.
Yeah, because Rhee comes in and she says hi to Jackie and then gets nothing in return.
So childish. From Jackie, not from Rhee.
Yeah. Well, Rhee and Jeff are still quite together, united, supportive, relaxed and comfortable. Which is needed for what happens later on.
Yeah, because they are so done with Jackie's shit yet again. And they are united. It's just that in this episode, they're mostly united in annoyance and bafflement at Jackie and Ryan.
Yeah.
But to be fair, they do present a united front. They step up for each other. And I think that's admirable. Like, they have had challenges for a solid couple.
Yeah.
Mostly through Jackie.
Yeah.
And they have dealt with that, I think, as well as you could hope. Like, they've got each other's back. And Jeff steps up to defend her or support her in the argument with Jackie, and it just feels really united and really in sync.
Yeah, I really liked what we saw from them.
See, this is what happens with a solid couple if they have a challenge and they face it well.
Yes, yeah.
Which is nice to see. Something I haven't seen in Jamie and Dave.
I see. But that's just you.
Well, we can't all rave about Jave.
Right.
I just thought of that.
I know. There's nowhere I can go with that, so shall we move on?
I think we should do Athena and Adrian.
Oh my god.
Justice!
You felt that there was justice here?
I enjoyed this.
Oh, okay. Do you want to take the lead?
I do. And my first reaction was, wow, that family meetup was a shit show.
Because we didn't actually watch it.
No, but from what we've seen and what everyone said, shit show.
Yeah.
From what we did see, it was sort of a proxy fight between their respective people. And so they kind of sat back and let their seconds go at it. And then it turns out Adrian's friends are exactly like him and just clear off when the going gets tough.
I thought it was his sister.
I don't know, friends, sisters, anyone associated with Adrian is equally a wrong-un in my opinion.
I see.
So I enjoyed it. He was very quiet, didn't sort of step in to defend Athena or try and settle the situation down because, you know, that would be hard and against his interest.
Well, at the dinner party, Athena speaks her truth.
Oh, yeah.
The group ask her how it's going, and she does not hold back.
She seems to have him pegged now, like you said.
Yeah. The experts actually do call him controlling as well, which I thought was finally...
Do it to his face.
Yeah. And then he sort of notices the group tied, which is very much against him and very much on Athena's side at this point.
Yeah, because everyone's like, have you actually done anything this week? Because this was supposed to be your step-up, show-up week.
Yes, and all he does is provide pathetic excuses.
I mean, he suggested loads of things, apparently.
And did he do any of them?
Well, he took her to Nando's.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, that is not good enough. And his plaintive cry of, what's wrong with Nando's?
Well, the thing is, he'd referred to it as a fancy dinner. That was the problem.
I mean, no shade on Nando's, but I'm not sure you'd call it fancy.
No, exactly. And that's the issue. And this is what gets the group sort of chuckling to each other.
I mean, I just looked at that and I was like, should have brought her flowers, Ryan? Has he not been listening?
I know. What I did like, though, was that Rhee says her piece to him. She's very frustrated by him, and she calls him out in front of the group. And I thought that was quite nice. It's people finally coming forward for Athena.
A nice little warm-up ahead of the Jackie showdown.
Yes, well, that's coming later.
One thing I think we can't just sort of breeze by was a comment from, I think it might have been Adrian's sister or Frem, one of them, was like, he has shown up for you, Athena, more than he's shown up for any other partner.
What a statement.
I'm like, oh my god, he can be worse?
Yeah.
What did he do before?
Yeah.
That's him showing up.
It does raise more questions than it answers.
And those questions are, what the fuck?
And can we meet these women?
These poor women.
Yeah.
I'm not entirely sure they'd have been even entirely aware they were going out with him.
Well, yes, from what we get told, that does seem not beyond realms of possibility.
And he fails to get the group on side, inexplicably, with his...
The group are done with him.
They are done with him. And I just wrote, oh, and he's off again. He scuttles off.
He leaves the table, but he does come back.
Yeah, he reappears later, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He's just suddenly there.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, we didn't even give him the satisfaction of getting to return on camera.
Well, I think the producers are done with him as well, aren't they?
I really hope so.
Yeah.
Athena was talking about, like, early on in her talking head, like, if he didn't do this and if he did this, I'd really like him. I'm like, yeah, so basically in summary, if he was a different person, you might like him.
Yeah. I think she's just trying to demonstrate that she's open to change, but he's just not changing.
This was the satisfaction that I needed, that he got away with. He delayed this a week with his Billy Bomb last time, and this was what I wanted, and this was what we were going towards.
Okay, so you're feeling a bit more satisfied now?
Yes, this was what I needed, and I'm cautiously optimistic for the commitment ceremony next time.
Okie dokie.
Because, you know, the experts are talking a good game. They're saying he's controlling. This is a tendency of controlling behaviour. And I'm like, you could have called it out sooner. Mm-hmm. So we'll see. I feel like they've built me up, and either it's going to be a big finish and I'm going to be delighted, or they're going to make me sad.
To be honest, I don't have much faith in the commitment ceremonies anymore.
No, and I don't either, but they've made me hope.
Okay.
And it's the hope that kills you.
It is, yeah. Bless you. Poor Ben.
Speaking of hope that kills you, Tony and Morena.
Yes, I felt very sorry for Morena.
Yep.
Hang on. For Morena. Oh no, I've lost it. Morena.
There's no L in there.
Morena. I'm not saying an L.
There's definitely an L in there that you're saying.
Okay, well, I need to practice again.
Monia back!
I felt very sorry for her because I believe that he is trying to almost quiet quit on their relationship. He's sort of backing out and coming up with these reasons why they're not going to work. And I don't think he actually wants a baby, but I think it's a knife wound and something that she can't change.
It turns out you can judge people by the people that you hang out with, and Tony is now a wrong'un.
Yeah.
I have decided I am Team Morena here. He's doing everything he can to sort of get out of this relationship. He's made up this baby thing because he never mentioned it at the sort of scouting recce's and everything.
It's a shock to the experts to hear this.
I know, that's telling. And he's now weaponizing their feedback to her. He's like, oh, your personality's the shits, man.
Yeah,
that's
that was
awful.
so harsh. So harsh.
Yeah, that's not okay. He's just showing a bad side of him.
Yeah, and I don't like it.
And no doubt, judging by our experts, they won't hold him to account at all.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think she's entirely justified, and I hope she lets him have it. Because she actually confronted the group a little bit briefly in the chat when it was just starting to get going, and they kind of backed down and let her go. So I think the tide is turning to pro-Morena, anti-Tony here.
How do you mean she confronted the group?
Well, the group made some sort of like murmurings when she started on at him.
Right.
And she sort of went, no, let me talk. And they did.
Yeah.
Because she wasn't aggressive with them. She didn't get
Pointy.
death starey. So yeah, I thought that was progress. And it showed maybe the tide of opinion is turning.
Yeah. Because, as you've said, what she was talking about is reasonable. In that he has been very unreasonable.
Well, yeah, she led off with, he wants a baby. And everyone's like, what? So, yeah, this is a couple where my opinion has shifted.
Yes. Mama Morena is back.
I want to move on to a couple that's kind of becoming my low-key favourite for very little reason other than they both give great reaction shots. It's TJ and Beth.
TJ and Beth.
They are photogenic. And I think they're going to hang around for a while because the producers love them. Because, like, every reaction shot was either TJ or Beth and TJ.
We rewound this a few times just to catch their reactions to different things.
I made sure to say, keep an eye out for his reactions because they are fire.
And then you missed one.
I did.
And you missed the best one because he literally leans forward, puts his hands on the table and his head in his hands.
Yeah, it was like proper Gossip Girl, kind of like, spill the tea.
Yeah, it was brilliant. But they appear united. They seem to be doing really well. And they're getting more and more comfortable within that larger group.
I enjoyed their summary of, we're doing great, sorry. I am really sorry that we're doing great because you all are on fire in a bad way.
Yeah, because they seem to have taken sort of a formal route this time and they're literally all asking each other how they're doing. And at one point, Beth becomes one of the experts and sort of asks, are you staying? Are you leaving? Let's work on this. And, you know, that was quite a nice moment from her to have taken that format.
They're both becoming a bit more vocal and we're starting to see them fill a role in the group. And like Beth's got a lot of positive, supportive energy and she will hold people account and will interject. And she does a few times in this episode and I'm here for it.
Yeah, lovely to see.
Yeah, I like them. I think they're Rhea and Jeff 2.0. And again, in comment, they've been Jackied.
I know.
If Jackie interjects in your relationship, you must be like fated to do well. Either that or Jackie's really good at uniting people against her.
Well, one or the other. Another couple that could do with Jackie's helpful influence is Veronica and Elliot.
If taken out of context, that sounds so wrong.
I know, but you guys know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
The tables have turned on them and I now feel sorry for Elliot.
Absolutely. Poor old Elliot. I'm 100% Team Elliot through and through now.
Yeah, he was trying to explore his emotions in the tasks that they were set, and she does not see his effort or value his contributions. And it's really sad because he did try really hard.
Yeah, it's a real sea change. I like New Elliot, and I am calling him New Elliot because it's so night and day from when we first met him.
Yeah.
He seems to have really gone, I'm going to give this a go. I'm genuinely going to try and be emotionally engaged. And I think it was quite telling for all of that, actually, because he talks, amidst everything that's going on, when he was recounting his emotional letter, he talks about a thing where he said, I don't want to lose control of my emotions ever. And I think that might be fundamental to why he was the way he was at the beginning of this show.
Right. You feel that he lost track of his emotions?
No, I think he's really guarded and really controlled of himself. And I think that was symptomatic of why he was...
Too much.
Yeah, why he'd gone, I know who I want, I only want who I want and who I'm comfortable with. And he's had to be brought out of that for this show. And I think he's really unlucky to be paired with Veronica, who has decided he is not for her.
Well, what's interesting is that the group calls her out on her dismissal of him. And she does accept responsibility for this and sort of says, yeah, okay, I know I can do that, so I'll try and work on it. And I'm wondering if this will incite change in her or if it's just talk.
That's not what I got from that. Because her first reaction was, yeah, I am really impatient. I have no patience. And I just still feel like she was really dismissive of him. Like, she still kept on about, like, he can't give me what I want. He's not open enough for me emotionally. And I'm like, girl, we saw the footage. He was being emotionally open. You just rejected everything he said and wouldn't recognise it.
She did a talking head, which is where I noticed that she might be willing to accept some responsibility for this.
I think you are more optimistic than me.
I like being optimistic.
I know, that's fine. I just got real mean girl energy from her, and I think she's got a terrible attitude.
Well, I like to believe that people can change.
Okay, well, I hope you're
don't.
right. No, I hope you're right and I'm wrong, but it's very emblematic of her poor behaviour that she managed to turn the group 180 and they were fully on Team Elliot with me in the trenches.
Because Elliot was quite brave, actually, and in discussing this, he decides to open up and share his... Was it Confessions Week that they did?
Yeah.
He shared his story, which was about the trauma that he went through with his sister's diagnosis of diabetes. And upon hearing the story and seeing the emotion that he provides, because it's not just what he says he felt, it's the feelings that you can see him feeling.
Yes.
And that's when the group are like, no, he's giving you emotion. He's giving you that depth. You're just not receiving it.
Yeah, she seemed to be completely focused on his words and they weren't expressive enough for her. And I think he's someone that finds it difficult to express his emotions verbally.
Yeah, and that can take time to learn how to do that.
I still think he did a fairly good job, and it was a bit brutal of her, and her very dismissive, eye-rolling actions. She did not cover herself in glory.
No.
You know who else didn't cover herself in glory? Lauren, of Lauren and Clint.
Right.
Because she's still being petty with Elliot, and I just think she needs to move on.
I have an interesting take on this, I think. She refers to building a friendship with Clint, and the word friend comes up quite a lot between them. I think she's not attracted to him, but I think that she is attracted to Elliot. And so some of that bitterness is because really she wanted it to work with Elliot.
I don't blame her. I think I might have a slight crush on Elliot. He is a chiseled man. I'll grant him he's a handsome fella.
Yeah.
But yeah, she does seem to resent the Elliot situation still. Like, she makes a point of saying, no, I didn't greet him, etc., blanked him. And dropping the F-bomb, the friend bomb, in Married at First Sight.
Yeah, you needed to clarify that. I was like, who swore?
No. Yeah, in the context of MAFS, the F-bomb is the friendship word, and that is the death knell for a relationship. It's what happens when you get Sierra'd.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I don't have much hope for them anymore. I don't think there's anything there beyond a friendship.
Yeah, it doesn't look good.
And the next time clip that we see at the end really doesn't help.
Oh, yeah, let's not speculate. I will save that for the commitment ceremony, but that is going to be something.
Yeah.
Join us in our next episode to find out what that is.
Yeah, we each have our thoughts, so we'll see who's right.
Oh, we're such teasers. Do you know who isn't a tease?
You're moving on to Jackie and Ryan, aren't you?
I am. Jackie is not a tease. She is right up front with her lunacy.
Oh my god.
This is the main event.
Jamie refers to her as having an odd sense of reality. And I think that's such a good way of putting it.
Oh, yes. Jamie, you were MVP this episode. There were several MVPs, but you're right up there. But hear me out on this.
Right.
Jackie is my favourite participant this season.
What?
She is bringing it. Like, if we take aside, like, quality as a person or, like, validity of feelings, she is bringing the content. Like, if you imagine the last few episodes, like, the whole of this show without her thus far, much more boring.
Or would others just step up?
No one can step up like Jackie is stepping up. She is bringing the drama and the bants. I mean, who else would accuse another member of the crew of crimes against humanity for calling out her shit? I am here for it. She is mad. She is bringing the drama, and I am 100% on board. If she leaves the show at any point, I might be done.
The thing is, I'm feeling very sorry for Ryan and Ree.
Oh yeah. I mean, anyone in Jackie's blast radius I feel sorry for, which is impressive because Ryan isn't great.
Yeah, he feels like he's trying really hard to build a connection and build a foundation with her. But she's like the pages of a book flapping in the wind.
Flip-flapping all over the gaff.
No one knows what page she's on, and it changes on a whim.
I'm not even sure she's on a page. I think her page is ripped out and flying in the wind to really drag that further along.
I just think that she's so all over the place that there's something more going on there.
It was, yeah, oh yeah, there's definitely some stuff going on. I'd love to have seen more of their family and friends bit, because obviously we didn't see it because we're not watching the intervening episodes. I can only imagine how mad that was.
Yeah, I mean, I'm watching this dinner party episode, and I'm going, is she a psychopath? Like, actually, not murdery psychopath, but just lack of empathy, lack of remorse and guilt, shallow and superficial, antisocial, a disregard of social norms.
It would explain why she seems to constantly overshoot her emotional reaction to things. Like, she always takes it about 5 steps too far.
Yeah, like when she brought up humanity, truth, and justice, and all Ree did was say, Jackie messaged Jeff.
I'm going to be honest, I'm going to have to get my lawyers involved, because justice is my thing.
But Jackie is a lawyer.
Yeah, I'm not sure if she's a real lawyer or if she's just in her head a lawyer. I'm not sure what she is.
Well, Jackie starts a huge onslaught towards Ree. The whole group is shocked. Ree tries to defend herself, but honestly, there's no talking to Jackie.
No, Jackie is on a roll, and I love that Ryan tries to step in and support her, and then immediately backs down from scary old Ree.
Yeah.
And then later on, Jeff steps in and goes, let me show you how it's done. I'll support my wife. Firm, but not aggressive.
Well, it's hard to support your wife when she's being crazy.
Yeah. I could see the sort of terrified look in his eye when Jackie starts up. Because obviously there's been too much attention on other people. And she's got some grievances to air.
She's been biding her time for this.
And I think she's more wound up by, she tries to campaign the moment she gets in to the pre-drinks and picks the absolute wrong person to campaign with, because she campaigns to Jamie to try and get her on side, and Jamie is like, what?
Jamie provides an excellent poker face in that moment. I was admiring that.
I have never seen the entire table just like, right, I'm just going to spectate because this is going to be crazy.
Yeah. Because Jackie, has clearly been ruminating on this and winding herself up. And when she lets it go at Ree, eventually Ree does very cleverly apologise. I'm sorry that made you so upset. Jackie accepts this, and boy does she share a smug face.
The vibe and the energy was just like, oof, something. And she was so absurd. Her absurdity had people hiding under napkins at the table. And that is a feat.
Yeah.
And she is utter chaos. And I am here, popcorn in hand, full fizzy drink, feet up, big screen. She is box office, baby.
That's big statements.
She is the show. And I feel sorry for anyone within her blast radius.
Yeah, her glitter radius.
Yes, but she is the headline act for me, and I'm back in, baby.
Okay, I'm feeling your joy.
I'm just reveling in the absurdity.
Yeah.
You know, like, set aside some of the other stuff from this episode that wasn't fun. Jackie brings the fun.
All right, well, what are you going to rate the episode
I
then?
am rating this 7 crimes against humanity out of 7.
Are you really?
I'm back in, baby. I'm all in.
Oh my god.
I mean, don't get me wrong. There's part of me that is apprehensive about the commitment ceremony next time because I'm on a high.
Yeah.
But, I mean, there is some nonsense to be called out.
Wow.
Everyone at the dinner table was cringing, hiding under napkins. The experts were baffled and completely confused and doubtful-faced. And I'm sat there just going, this is comedy gold.
It's not a comedy show, though.
It is for me, baby.
Well, I have rated it 3 out of 10.
What is wrong with us?
For me, it was very hard to watch. I want a bit more compassion from the experts regarding some of the members. It wasn't much fun, and it made me feel sad and despondent.
I can't believe how different our scores always are. I'm starting to think that you and I are just different people. But
with our own thoughts and opinions, independent of each other.
Don't get me wrong. Adrian getting his comeuppance with a group, big tick. Jackie bringing the madcap nonsense, big tick. I've overlooked a lot.
Yeah. Okay. I don't think I can cope. Send help.
I would like to end this episode by, from the bottom of my heart, thanking Jackie. Continue to be you. Just nowhere near me.
Oh my god. Okay, and on that note...
That is all, folks.
If you have the time, we would really appreciate it if you could rate and review the podcast. It really does mean a lot to us. Thank you so much for listening. Bye.
Toodles!